Good morning, this is Jack from Charting the Markets, and this is the pre-market webinar for the morning of Monday, the 21st of July. My disclaimer, I do this for educational purposes only. I'm here to share my technical analysis with you. I hope you can take some of what I'm doing, learn from it, transfer it to your own charts. I'm not here to issue trading signals. This is a video for paying subscribers at chartingthemarkets.substack.com, and it's published on YouTube after a delay of 24 hours. All right, great. Let's have a look at ES, where we're pretty close to the highs still. I'm still leaning towards seeing a little higher because we haven't quite made our targets on Dow and YM. But in the meantime, we've got pretty close to the highs. We've got a decent, it does look as though we might be topping out here in terms of the pattern setup, but there's certainly room to go a little higher. NQ, 60-minute sell signal is fixed, hasn't made target yet, might see a bit of a decline, maybe a test of the weekly pivot here to sort that out today. RTY, again, we've got an open 60-minute sell signal fix. We're still pretty close to the highs. Obviously, this head and shoulders failed here, so I'll take out that arrow. I'm expecting to see a retest of this high. YM, this is actually on both here and on the RTH chart on Dia. This is a pretty decent looking bull flag. So I'm expecting this flag to break up and deliver a retest of this high. On DAX, we've got an IHS which is broken up here. Sorry, double bottom that's broken up here. Or is it an IHS? No, it's an IHS. So it could be read as a double bottom. But we're pretty. If it is an IHS, we're pretty close to failing on it. You can see the line here. We haven't actually gone below it, but we've got pretty close to it. Nonetheless, I'm leaning towards seeing a high, and ESTX maybe forming a larger IHS here, which again would have a target at a retest of the highs. I would quite like to see this retest of the high on ESTX particularly, and the retest of the high on YM. Let's have a look at the bigger picture charts. And on Dia, what I'm really looking for here is a retest of this high, which will set up some negative divergence on the daily RSI 14. But also, I'm looking for a retest of the all-time high on the Dow Industrial directly, because we haven't quite seen that. And that is something that was one of the targets here. Is it an absolute disaster if we don't make it? No, but it would look better if we did. On ES, we've still got an RSI 14 and RSI 5 sell signal fixed. I'm pretty sure we're topping out here. We've got obviously a couple of key dates coming up now. End of next week, we've got the 1st of August, and potentially a whole load of extra tariffs are going on there. But we've also got, at the end of August, I think either on the 30th or the 31st, we've got this this court hearing where they're going to decide whether or not the way that Trump has been putting off on tariffs is legal. And if they say no, then of course all dates get reset, all tariffs get reset, and the administration would be trying to put on Trump these Trump tariffs another way. So we could find we get an extra lease of life because of that. We will see. Sell signals again on the SPX daily. Across the board, we've got decent looking support at the daily middle band, and none of that has been broken yet. So leaning towards it going a little higher before it does break. We've still got hourly sell signals, RSI 14 on SPX and the Qs, and we've got one, but it's made the possible near miss target already on Dia. Looking at the Qs, we've still got a possible weak RSI 14 sell signal brewing. If we go high enough, then we could actually fail this daily RSI 5 sell signal. I'm not expecting it to go that high, but it's getting close enough that I'm getting aware of it as a possibility. Looking at the IWM chart, morning Doug. It's right, looking at the IWM chart on the daily chart, nice support at the daily middle band. We've got that holding across the board pretty much at the moment. RSI 5 sell signal fixed, weak RSI 14 sell signal fixed. Hourly chart, no current divergence. You can see we've broken very slightly below this support here. I'm leaning towards seeing a retest of this high, at least to make the second high of a double top. We've still got this big IHS here, but at the moment, certainly if the tariffs are not ruled to be illegal in their current form, I'm doubtful about this making target. We shall see. 15-minute chart, pretty much the same. Short-term RSI 14 sell signal fix. We do have a number of short-term sell signals here, and I'm wondering if we might see some a bit of a back test today to continue as we go through that. DAX, I'm leaning towards seeing a retest of this high. We will see how that goes. but I would expect to see that in the next 2 or 3 days, I would have thought. On Nikkei, we could see a retest of this high here, and that would set up some nice negative divergence on the daily RSI 14. We shall see. All right, let's have a look at DX. DX, we've got a possible double top here. I am wondering whether this is setting up for a retest to the low. Needs to, and I really like it because it's got support basically at the monthly pivot. Break and convert the monthly pivot, and we set up a retest of this low, and that would be an obvious thing to do, even if we're going up here. And I think I have to say, in terms of divergence and the overall pattern setup, I'm favouring the upside. ZB, we've got this head and shoulders which is broken down, and that doesn't fail unless we go back over about 114.14. And to do that, really, we'd need to be well over the monthly pivot at 114.06. But I'm thinking this head and shoulders may be failing. We've seen a bit of a spike up this morning. On ZN, we've got head and shoulders broken down as well, but quite often when you see a head and shoulders fail, you see a reversal pattern, which is a head and shoulders in the opposite direction. And we have a pretty decent looking IHS here. I'm wondering if that might break up. I'm wondering if it's already broken up, actually. We will see, because I'm seeing the price up here at 111.06. If that's the case, then we'd be looking at a target really in about the 111.20 area, I think. All right, let's have a look at CL. CL, the 60-minute sell signals reached possible near miss target. HO, the same. We've got an obvious trend line target below on HO in about the 2.365 area, I think. We may well be heading towards that. RBOB, we've got this double top that's broken down. Still deciding whether or not it's going to deliver. I quite like the downside here. We will see. NG, I actually marked in this... when I posted the weekend charts yesterday, I marked in this little level top here. That made target basically at the open. No current positive divergence here, but we're seeing a retracement. I'm really quite liking a retest of this low here, but it could be that this is just a 50% retracement before it continues higher. We will see. I was noting the possibility in the bigger picture last night that this is an IHS forming. It's not a great looking IHS, but it is a possible IHS, so I'm watching that too. GC, I was expecting to see a retest of this high here, and this is an opportunity, potentially, for this to be a double top and set up a retest of this low. So I'm watching this area carefully. We've seen that retest now. On SI, I'm also leaning towards seeing a retest of the high. Possibly to make the second high of a double top. Palladium, 60-minute sell signals reached possible near miss target. No obvious topping pattern here. Platinum, possible double top. HG, we've got a possible weak 60-minute sell signal brewing. This is mainly about the tariffs which are going to. This price spike was mainly about the tariffs which are going on at the end of July. And I think we'll be seeing quite a lot of accumulation of copper before then. After then, I'm thinking that really we're likely to be seeing some downside for a few months. UUSD, possible double bottom here. We don't have as much in the way of nice topping patterns on bottoming pattern on GBP USD. This isn't really any decent kind of a pattern. USD JPY, we don't have a decent double top, but I am wondering about the retest of the high here on the euro. And the retest of the low, possibly on DX. KC, nice looking rising wedge. It's broken down. Weak 60-minute sell signal is fixed. Hasn't quite reached the possible near miss target yet. This could just be a bull flag forming. I would quite like to see a retest of the low. SB, rising wedge has now broken down. This again could be a bear flag setting up the downside. This doesn't look like. No, actually, no. It could be an IHS forming. Hang on, wait a second. Yeah, that wouldn't be bad, actually. In which case, we'd have an ideal right shoulder low, which would be in about 16.3 area. That would be it. All right. Looking at CC, nice little rally here. Not really taking this as a falling wedge support particularly seriously at this stage. So I'm leaning towards this extending lower. We will see how that goes. CT, leaning towards seeing a retest of this high here in the 69.5 area. Lumber looks like it's rejecting back up into the high in the 675 area. Wheat, corn, and soy, all of those I'm thinking might have unfinished business on the downside. We've got a weak 60-minute sell signal fixed on wheat, and if we retest this little high here, we'll have a full size one brewing. On corn, nice little rising wedge breaking down. This could be a bear flag. On soy, We've seen a bit of a retracement here, 60-minute sell signal fixed, and it's pretty much reached a possible near miss target. But I'm wondering about unfinished business below on all of the grains. On soybean oil, we're testing the weekly pivot here. Obvious trend line targets down here at about the 53.5 area, just below the monthly pivot at 53.7. Live cattle and lean hogs rolled both of those into October. Could this be a double top? Yeah, but it's not pretty. Lean hogs, we had broken up from a falling wedge there, but the falling wedge looks rather different on the October one. It hasn't broken up. The next obvious target is a monthly pivot at 92.76 and the trend line, which is crossing that. All right, let's have a quick look at questions. Not seeing any questions. All right, we do have a bit of negative divergence here. I am wondering about a test of the weekly pivot, but on the bigger picture, I'm still looking for some upside targets here on YM. I'm looking for a retest this high, and DAX and the STX, I'm leaning towards seeing retest the highs as well. I think these are weighed down by the failure of the trade talks at the moment, but again, we will see what happens, but at the end of the month, we will see whether or not these tariffs are legal, and that could have a big impact. All right, great. In that case, that's a wrap. I will. Everyone, take care.